Good morning, everyone. I'm just letting people come on. Hope you're all having a good morning, good Tuesday. Just have a look. Right. So we're not expecting to have any problems this morning with technology, but if we do, just log back into the link and we'll get the webinar restarted. So I'm just going to close this down. Okay, so welcome. My name's Amanda, and it's a real honour and privilege to be asked to do this today. I did say to Sam at the beginning of lockdown not to ever ask me to do a Zoom because it terrifies me, but here I am. So what I'm going to do today is just talk to you about different types of business owners. But it's actually really about myself and my journey in Forever. I've been with Forever now for 20 years. It was 20 years in May, and can't believe it's 20 years. And I was a hairdresser. I had my own hairdressing business for many, many years. And my best friend introduced me to Forever, really with the products. I started with the products, and then I had a look at the business. And I was thinking this morning, I still remember the phone call from her when she phoned me to ask me to have a look at the opportunity. And she said to me that she could never be a hairdresser and she was working in IT and I could never be in IT, but she thinks she'd found a way for us to work together. And I thought that was quite good, actually. So I actually went along, had a look at what was on offer with Forever, and to be honest, I didn't see the bigger picture. I just saw an extra income, an extra £300 a month. And I got happily involved and really, really loved the products. And you're going to hear a bit more about my journey as I go through the slides. I won't say it all. But after a year of working with Forever, I matched my income. And so I sacked myself from my hairdressing business. And this is all I've done for 19 years. Absolutely love it. It's given us so much just in a way of life. We've been able to buy a beautiful home in Scotland. It was a 5-year goal that took 7 years to achieve. I have my parents living with me. That was my ultimate goal. So they didn't have to have any worries or any problems at all. All they worry about now is if the gates are closed at night and things like that. So it's Forever's definitely changed our lives. It's been amazing. So what I wanted to do was just go through my journey with the company and the different stages of my business. So, you know, when life seems like a roller coaster, because it does, building a business with Forever can be like a roller coaster. It's an incredible journey, and there's been high points and low points. Because that's life, isn't it? And that's just, it can't be perfect all the time. And there has been times where I've wanted to, you know, quit, but very fleetingly. But that was all about me, not to do with the company or anybody else. That's just me. But what I wanted to do was just share my journey with you and the different stages of my business. Get off the roller coaster now. So this was me 6 months in my business. I was a hobbyist. Now the names, the hobbyist, enthusiast, and professional business builder are just stages, and I didn't come up with these names, by the way. I got this from a training. I remember my upline Andy Waring doing this training and using these words, and I've just equated the words to me and to my journey. So when I started, I was very much a hobbyist. I was just, my evaluation was just to give it a go. That was my attitude. I didn't want to go to trainings. Only wanted to do the product ones because I absolutely loved the product. So I was very happy just talking to people about aloe. I talked to my hairdressing customers, talked to my friends, family, and it was always, always about aloe. Absolutely loved the products. I had aloe mouth, and I never ever spoke about the opportunity. I only ever spoke about aloe vera. I wasn't interested in building a business. That didn't interest me at all. I developed 20 gel drinkers very, very quickly. Some of them are still with me today, 20 years on. I mean, I've maintained having a high number of gel drinkers. I've got somewhere between 65 and 70 gel drinkers now, because over the years, people have recommended. And I remember telling my sponsor, Fiona, my friend, that I didn't want to do what she was doing for me, like going to stand and do launches and things. That terrified me. I didn't want to build a business. I didn't want to sponsor people. And I think back then, if she had tried to push me to do things I didn't want to do, I probably would have quit. I wasn't very coachable on the business side. And really, I just didn't think that side of it was for me. I thought that was for other people. I didn't see it for me. So I think the thing there is just to be aware, not to push people to do things you want to do, but be always there to help them achieve what they want to achieve from it. So I made supervisor, though, after 6 months, really without even trying, I should say, because I did sponsor someone. I sponsored a girl called Martine, a friend of mine. She just said, "Oh, what are you doing?" She was a customer, and she was drinking aloe like me and loving it. What are you doing? Can I do this? And I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with her? So I remember phoning Fiona and saying, Martine wants to come on board. What do I do? And she helped me with that. And then I was living down in Northamptonshire, and my mother-in-law living in Scotland, and she was getting on with the products. So she came on board to use the products because she'd got a few farmers on it as well. And between the three of us, with Aloe Mouth, I got to supervisor. And we were invited at the time when we got to supervisor, we got invited to head office for a training. And I'd gone along to this training, not really knowing what I was going to see or hear. And that is when I had my major light bulb moment. And I was sitting in this training, and this chap said, if you lead, I've got it all written down in case I forget things. If you lead with the products, you'll retail. But if you lead with the business, you'll build a team, but you'll always retail, because not everybody will want to join the business, not at that time. And I just sat there and I just thought, oh, I think I'll try that. I've always been one of these people, when I go to trainings, listening and just thinking, oh, I'll give that a go. Oh, I'll try that. So I thought, oh, I'll try that. I'll try leading with the opportunity. And I did. And I sponsored 4 people straight off. And then that was it then. It just started to snowball. But you might recognize people in your team that are like this. You might recognize yourself being like this. But, you know, for me, I didn't see the bigger picture straight off. I was excited about the product. So I was more or less a hobbyist and really Aloe Mouth. And hobbyists in your team are still very important. You know, and they can do anything from half a case credit a month to 4 case credits a month. I've always done 4 case credits for 20 years. I've done 4 case credits. But I think you've just got to be patient with them, and know that hobbyists do have potential. That's when they realise they have the potential as well. Because we can see lots of potential, can't we, in people that we work with, but they don't see it for themselves. So really what we have to do is just encourage them to the right trainings, just, you know, encourage them on retail ideas and things like that. And then, like me, can go along to a training and suddenly hear something from someone else and have that light bulb moment. So the next stage of my journey was being an enthusiast. And this was after 6 months of being in the business. This is where I really started to get excited about the potential with Forever. Still not the big picture though. You know, this was where I sat in my business, I would say, for 9.5 years. I sat as an enthusiast in the business. I got to manager, and we did car plan as well. I think that was about 2006, one of the first time we did car plan. I loved working it on my terms, and didn't see the bigger picture at all. I still thought that was for other people and not for little old me. I was comfortable doing what I was doing. I was enjoying what I was doing. I was having lots of fun with it as well, having lots of sizzles and ending up being sozzled. I didn't plan. I was very just full of enthusiasm, but no structure and no direction and no system. So for a long time, it was just winging it, and that's not good. Not if you really want to build big. So I hardly ever did a 7-day plan. I still thought the company incentives were for others, not for me. I was happy. I was earning about £1,800 a month to about £2,000 a month. So I was happy with that. I then had people in my team. Had a lady go manager, and she went on to be a senior manager, which was just amazing. What I realised over the years, though, I had created a lot of followers, people that liked being around me because I was a lot of fun. And also what I'd realised as well, I wasn't consistent. It was very ad hoc. I wasn't very consistent. And I also didn't have an understanding of network marketing as a career, as a serious career. I mean, I'd go to success days and just absolutely love it, and just get excited about what everybody was achieving. But I was happy where I was at that time. I always did my 4 case credits. You know, you might recognize yourself at this stage, or you might recognize people in your business. You know, you might have people in your business that are assistant managers, and they've been there a while. And, you know, it's maybe just not, they're happy being there. Or sometimes it's just because we're comfortable being there as well. So we're in that comfort zone. So you might recognize enthusiasts in your business as well. All I'd say is bide your time, you know, bide your time with them, keep encouraging them, and promote the events. You know, my upline were always good at promoting the events. But then things changed for us at the end of 2009. Was the year everything changed for us, because we were, sorry if we're getting lots of questions, I've just noticed. I'll answer those questions at the end. So yeah, things had changed for us. Graham had got made redundant. We just sold our house, and we were planning to move to Scotland. And suddenly Graham didn't have a job, and we didn't have a home. So we decided to move anyway, and we moved in with my in-laws, and we were with them for a year. But that was when I really had to really dig deep and start taking what I'd got my hands on a lot more seriously. And what happened was, when I moved to Scotland, I realized what I'd done with my business. I had created a lot of followers. I hadn't created people to be independent from me. So because I wasn't there, a lot of people fell by the wayside. Not all of them, but a lot of them did. There was a few, you know, that did carry on building their businesses without having me constantly there. So when it came to January 2010, that's where things really started to change. And I started to step up and take my business a lot more seriously. When I started in January 2010, I had hardly any business. It just completely dropped. I'd moved to Scotland, not known anyone, didn't know anyone apart from my mother-in-law. So I didn't have any team in Scotland, and we were living with my in-laws, and I didn't know anyone. So I just cracked on with activity, and I did carding, who do you know list still, events, people shopping. I got Graham's mum to have a launch for me just so I could meet some people. And then I think it was June 2010, the company introduced the incentive of Eagle Manager. And so I thought, right, I'm going to set my sights on that, because we only had 6 months to qualify for it. It was June 2010, and we had literally 6 months to do it. That's what the first qualification for Eagle was when it started. And we just went for it. And that was probably, going for Eagle is the progression to changing your business and getting you on the right tracks, to building a bigger business. So for me, I started to really invest in myself, in what I call millionaire trainings. So I attended Danny Johnson's seminar, which was in America, and I went out to America for one of her seminars, and absolutely that was the best thing ever for me, because I learned a lot about personality types, and that really did change things for me. I also attended Dr. Tom Barrett, and he helped me understand the industry and what I'd got my hands on, and also about leadership as well. And it was almost like when you get to be a business builder professional, that's where you have to grow up. We have to really grow up and take responsibility. I also attended Jan Rue. I've attended a few of those over the years, and she was very good for unlocking me for what was holding me back, because it wasn't anybody else. It was all me. There was something in me holding myself back, and she unlocked me, which was fantastic. And that year we were going to go on a holiday in 2010, and we decided not to go on holiday, and we decided to give our business hard work for a year. And so from changing from being like an enthusiast to a business builder, we went senior manager, soaring manager, car plan level 1, level 2, chairman's bonus in 2013, 2014, Eagle manager, senior Eagle, and soaring Eagle. So I would say 2010 was the year that changed everything. And that was the year I decided to take my business seriously. And that was the year that progressed over the next 3 to 4 years to what happened in our business. I'm sure you'll recognize people like this in your business as well. And they're the sort of people that just get on with it, and they can just work and go for it and take full responsibility for their businesses. And that's fantastic. But, you know, never compare yourself to others. We're all very different, and we're all on different journeys. And also, yeah, I was just going to say, it's an attitude of being in the business. Once you decide, there's that word, you do just go for it. And also, you know, you're doing anything from 5 case credits, total active, to 10. I mean, I never do anything less than 10 case credits myself, but that's just because I've built that up over the years. So just wanted to go through a few things about what I've learned during my journey with Forever. Is, you know, hobbyists, enthusiasts, business builders, they are all important. They are all value in your business. They give value to your business. So everybody is important. Don't make people do something they don't want to do. Just make sure they're happy doing what they're doing. And if they want to move forward, then you can be working with them to move forward. So just appreciate everyone. And there is that saying, I remember it at a training, believe in everyone, but don't wait for them. You know, there's been times where I remember in my early days sitting planning with a lady in my business, and she turned around at first planning and said that she wanted to be a diamond manager. And that was the first person I'd ever had say that to me. And when she'd gone, I was running around the house and screaming and going at Graham, oh my God, she's going to be a diamond manager. And I was just like, wow, you know, this is incredible. But actually, I think she lasted a few weeks actually, but it was because she didn't understand what she'd got her hands on. And I obviously didn't manage the expectation on that. So you know, we have to be honest with people and make sure we manage people's expectations as well. And, you know, we work with people, we all know people that need it, but we need to work with people that want it. You know, you can get so far with people and then, you know, you can just let them be and let them do what they want to do. And you can check in with them and make sure they're happy. And if they're happy where they're at, then that's great. And then, of course, there's the CIA, control, influence, and accept. Some things you can control, some things you can influence, but some things you just have to accept. And I think that's a good rule of thumb. CIA, can I control it? Can I influence it? Or do I just have to accept it? And, you know, don't get frustrated by your team. Get fascinated by them. Let people be what they want to be. Sometimes you do find people revert back. So they can be a business builder and then, you know, can take a bit of time out. I took time out for a couple of years and that's fine. And I was more of an enthusiast, but I'm definitely back being a business builder again. So, you know, it's your journey and it's your business and you do what you want to do with it. And as I said, managing people's expectations is very key. If you've got somebody that's, you know, sitting there and saying they want to earn £5,000 a month in 6 months' time, but they only want to work 2 hours a week on their business, well, you've got to be honest with people and manage that expectation because that is not going to happen. So make sure you do that. Don't take things personally. That's the biggest thing, I think, you know, with personal development as well, is not taking things personally. Be a generator, not a reactor. And as your business grows, people will, they will like you, they will rate you, they will hate you. It's sad, but it's true because we're all people, we're all humans and people do these things. But what you've got to remember, it's usually people having a bad life or having a bad time, and it's maybe not understanding the opportunity that we have, the business, the industry, maybe not working on themselves, and maybe sometimes just not a strong enough why. So, you know, with personal development is key. So we need to be making sure that people are reading the books and listening to the CDs. And always remember, no matter what people may think of you, you can always help people build a business, okay? And no matter what maybe you might think of your upline, you might have a bit of a clash, you don't know, but they're there to help you. They always can help you build a business. Never make things personal and never blame your team. If your business is not where you want it to be, you take full responsibility for that, but never blame people. Your character is your values and who you are. The reputation is what others think of you. And as Jim Rohn always says, what you think of me is none of my business. So always try and keep a light heart and don't take things too seriously. And, you know, come from love and kindness, contribution, serving others. It's not about doing everything for others. It's about giving them the tracks to run on. That's our job. We're not the boss of anyone, and you're not the boss of anyone. Nobody's the boss. We just give people the tracks to run on, and it's up to them whether or not they run on the tracks. So just be grounded in who you are and where you want to be. Don't ever feel, you know, I can't think of the word. Don't underestimate yourself, and don't be influenced in any bad ways, always in good ways, and always be fascinated. Always be open to learning from others. If you see people go way ahead of you, just embrace that and just think, wow, that's fantastic. I wonder what they're doing, and find out. It's so important to not, you know, compare yourself to others. That's the word I was trying to think of. Don't compare yourself to others, because everybody has a different journey with Forever in their business. So just be grounded in who you are. You know, can only be you, and quirks and all. So what I wanted to do before I go on to my last slide is just to recommend some books, because I think that personal development is absolutely key. And one of the first books that I actually read, and I thought was a spooky book actually, because things changed when I read this book. And it's called Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. And it is a brilliant book. I've read it probably about 3 or 4 times actually, but I highly, highly recommend this book. It's absolutely fantastic. Graham, my husband, didn't get on with that one because it's all about the power of the subconscious and what you think about, you bring about, and things like that. But he really liked Mach 2, Starring You. It used to be called Mach 2 with Your Hair on Fire, but this was more his sort of book. And it's all about the law of attraction and things like that. And I do really think things like The Secret, watching The Secret was another powerful thing for me to help me. So I'd highly recommend people watch The Secret. I know you can get it on CD as well, so it's quite good to listen to. And there's a book as well, but watching The Secret was really, really good. Another book I highly, highly recommend, because in this business, everybody is different. And it's actually when you start to understand personality types. So the 4 personality types for MLM, and this is Big Al. So this I highly, highly recommend. This is my favorite subject. I could do a whole training on this about personality types. It really does help you understand people, not just in business, but your family, your friends. You'll read it and get so much from it. So do read this, and it helps you when you're building your team and working with different types of people. Then, of course, you know, with the industry that we're in, understanding that is key. So there's GoPro, Eric Worre, highly recommend that. Went out to Vegas a few years ago for that, and it was amazing. But then also Tom Barrett, Dare to Dream and Work to Win. And then Success Happens as well. Absolutely brilliant for leadership and understanding the industry. Another one I absolutely love is Jeff Olson, but this is the CD. I've got this from my car, but I like the book better actually. Reading it, I took more in. But The Slight Edge is all about, it's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. And it's about having the slight edge. So I highly recommend that. So The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And then also about leadership, you know, being a leader. John Maxwell is absolutely fantastic. So Developing the Leader Within You is another great book. Now, I find that when I'm building my business, I have to be reading the books. I have to be listening to CDs. I have to be watching motivational things to keep my mindset strong. And so I can be the best I can be to help others. And if I'm only human, if I have days where I feel a bit overwhelmed sometimes, especially with the situation that we're in at the moment, I find Wayne Dyer is absolutely brilliant. So you can go onto YouTube and find loads and loads of things with Wayne Dyer. So I highly recommend him. And I've recommended so many people that are struggling with emotions to listen to Wayne Dyer, even people that are not in the business. I'm renowned for recommending Wayne Dyer to people to help them. And of course, we have our Forever trainings, which I don't know about you. I've been attending so many of them. They have been absolutely amazing. We've been so lucky, haven't we, with the trainings that we've had. So this is just my last slide. And I would always just say to yourself, if you're any in doubt about doing something, just ask yourself, what would Rex say? You know, I've been very lucky in my Forever journey to meet Rex quite a few times, and he's an amazing presence of a man. And so I feel very fortunate and blessed to have been a business owner that's met him quite a few times and had a hug with him as well. I'm not the finished article. I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago. I'm not the same person I was yesterday. We're always growing. There's that saying, isn't there? We're either green and growing or we're ripe and rotten. So I'm not the finished article. I'm still learning. I'm still enjoying the business, but I still learn about the business. So I love this company. My passion is unshakable, as well as my belief. I love the company. I love my business. I love my team. I love the products. It's a way of life for me. It's just a way of life, and a very exciting one. Even though there's a lot of heartache around us with this situation at the moment, we have got such an amazing opportunity to reach out to people with, and you know, people are more open now than I think they've ever been to having a look at this opportunity. So I hope that's helped. I'm just going to go and see if there's any questions. I don't even know what time it is. No, the millionaire trainings that I talk about, I invested in myself. I did that for myself, so I paid for myself to go. PD is personal development. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, okay. My books that I recommended. Excuse me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. The Astonishing Power of Positive Feelings. So, brilliant book. Mac 2, The Power of Now. Mac 2 Starring You, sorry, by Richard Bliss Brooke. And The 4 Personality Types. Big Al, Tom, I can't ever say his name because I think I might swear if I say his name. But if you look for that, and if you go onto Knowledge is King website, there's loads of the books on there that you can get as well. Tom Barrett, Dare to Dream, Work to Win, and Success Happens. John Maxwell, about leadership. The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And then Go Pro by Eric Worre, and anything with Wayne Dyer as well. Oh, good. Yeah, just keep going, enjoy it. CIA, control, influence, accept. Can you control the situation? Can you influence it? Or do you just have to accept it? Oh, thank you, Phil and Rosita. I've grown up now. I'm not naughty anymore. I think I'm done. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for the lovely feedback as well. And have an amazing day. Keep safe, everyone. Bye.